In this short tutorial, I will introduce you to the button event handlers. They're one of the most commonly used event handlers as they capture events from devices such as Netlink's touch panels and keypads. Consider a button on a touch panel or keypad. You can perform two physical actions on a button: push and release. Button events are triggered by output channel events on a particular device. Pressing a button turns the associated output channel on. Releasing the button turns the associated output channel off. It's often necessary to consider how long a button has been pressed for. There is a button event handler for that also. There are 3 button event handlers in total: push, hold, and release. As mentioned, these directly relate to pushing, holding, and releasing a button on a Netlink's device. Now that we understand what button event handlers are for, let's have a look at how we include them in our Netlink's program. Before we start, we need to know what device and channel to listen out for. Consider a touch panel example. We need the DPS of the touch panel and the channel number associated with the button. We commonly call this the device channel pair, or DevChan. Here's an example code snippet showing the layout of a typical button event, which includes event handlers for push, hold, and release. Netlink's is a free-form programming language. However, this layout is considered best practice. For further information, including examples, reference the Harman Professional University Netlink's Programming Style Guide. In our Netlink source code, we already defined our touch panel. It's called DVTP. I'm now going to scroll down to the Define Event section. Let's create our button event by typing this. Type button_event followed by 2 square brackets. We also need a set of braces here to place our event handlers in. I'll now go back and add the DevChan pair between the square brackets. The device that we defined is DVTP. We then separate the DevChan pair with a comma, and the channel will be whatever channel number was assigned in the touch panel. For this example, I'll simply use channel number 1. Within the button event braces here, I'm going to tab over one space and we'll add a push event handler like this, a release event handler like this, and a hold event handler like this. Don't forget to put a colon after each handler. There are a couple of additional parameters that are needed for a hold. First, we need to set the minimum length of time the button must be held for before this hold event handler is triggered. The time value is in tenths of seconds. I wish to have this execute after 1 second. Therefore, I'll put a value of 10 in here. Optionally, we can add a repeat parameter here like this. The hold event handler will be triggered at the hold interval for as long as the button is held. The braces contained directly under each event handler will contain the code to be executed when the event handler is triggered. Now that you have your button event handlers completed, you're ready to begin writing the code each event handler will execute.